Neovision Cloud is out, guys. This is going to be obviously the in-depth unit review, how you guys should be using him, example builds, all of that great stuff, his strengths, his weaknesses. Fantastic time here. Thank you guys for spending that time here today, and thank you guys for that support via the Patreon as well as the YouTube channel membership system. So Neovision Cloud is here. EX +1 transforms into his Brave Shift form. It's going to give him his motorcycle form. If you guys didn't check out the in-depth review for him to get all of his skills, check out that video for sure, but I'm sure you guys have already seen it, so let's get into the strengths and weaknesses of each form here. So the first form here that we have is the base form, him on his feet. You guys have seen it. You're going to want to max out his Brave skills, Braver, which is going to affect both his base form as well as his Brave Shift form, as well as Focus Thrust. These are going to be his two big damaging skills here for the base form of Cloud. Focus Thrust will be his best SR chaining skill, and Braver is going to be a chain finishing skill, and he can self-chain cap his own skill there. Outside of that, things that you're looking forward to are Ignition here for the 300% attack bonus. Definitely going to be utilizing that skill for that massive attack bonus, and some MP restoration over time. And then in certain situations, you're going to have the ability to either buff up Human Killer or Machine Killer based on which form you are in there. So that's going to be the base version of Cloud here. That's what you're going to be utilizing there. It's all single target damage. If you want to go for AoE damage, you're going to go into the Brave Shift form on the motorcycle here. You're still going to have access to Braver. It's still a single target, but his spinning slash attack, which is going to be another Brave skill, he has 3 total. This is the third one. Still Stardust Ray, but this one is single target for the first 9 hits, but the final hit is actually AoE. So if you want him to do AoE chaining damage, you're going to have someone else also build up an AoE chain for you, but you can chain finish on it with spinning slash there for you guys. So that's going to be his specialty there, and also his limit burst in this form is going to be area of effect as well there. So if you're looking for some area of effect damage via either his LB or the chain finish on his SR skill, the Brave Shift form is where you are going to want to be locating yourself there. Now let's talk about some basic builds here for you guys. On both the builds here, we'll have this pop up on the screen for you guys. The first one we're going to be going over, we're going to have a couple different builds. We're going to have no STMRs, all right, as usual. There might be some event gear in there. There may be some TMRs of other characters, but we're going to give you the general whereabouts of how you want to be going across and building your characters. And then we're going to have a very special build that you probably shouldn't go for because it is insanely gear intensive for you guys. So the first one here is the non-Super Trust Master reward build outside of his own Super Trust Master reward, which you can get by EX +2ing him or via a Super Trust Master Moogle, because you have access to him. Because, you know, you're here for the review for the character, so you have to own it, right? But we're using the Buster Sword, which is his own Trust Master reward. If you have a better two-handed Great Sword, go for this one. This is 158 attack, two-handed Great Sword. Do not go for a higher attack weapon that is a single-handed weapon, because you need that damage variance, 30% on average bonus damage due to the weapon variance from the Great Sword in his hand there. So we have Buster Sword FF7 remake, we have Erdwin's Coronet for some limit burst damage, King Rain's Armor for some limit burst damage, Tifa's Gloves for some attack, as well as some true double hand, the Mightiest Ruler's Might, Hard Overcoming Hatred. We're building this for a little bit of Maneater. He's pretty easy to build for Maneater. His own Vision card is very powerful, the best Vision card in the game right now. As you level it up, not only is it going to give you that base attack that starts with 45, goes all the way up to 100. And about Vision cards here, real quick caveat, that base attack, that 45 to 100, that counts as gear attack. So he is a True Double Hand character. True Double Hand gives you bonus attack from gear attack, and that card counts. So if you get that to level 10, that 100 attack, if you have 400% True Double Hand, you're going to get not only the 100 from the card, but 400 additional from your True Double Hand being affected by the card. So that's very strong way to build him there. In synopsis here, we're building him for maximizing True Double Hand, maximizing attack percent, and maximizing limit burst damage and killers. If you do not have the gear to maximize both killers, if you're not fighting any human, as well as limit burst damage, try to build them up equally. If you have 400%, 300% limit burst damage and 0 killer, it's better for you to drop that limit burst damage down to 150% limit burst damage and raise that killer up to 150%. Try to keep them equal. Don't build one all the way to max and forego the other one. You're losing out on a ton of damage that way due to how the mathematical formula works there. Now, once you're ready to progress into another build here, we have the Super Trust Master maximum build out there. Okay, guys, so this is going to be the same sort of style as the previous build, but we're able to use hands off any sort of gear we want in the game. So we have the Buster Sword Kingdom Hearts version here for you guys. It is the highest attack greatsword in the game. This is from Kingdom Hearts Cloud. Erdwin Cornet is still there from 11. Lion Armor. This is from Stern from the War of the Visions collaboration. Gothic Amulet makes a comeback here from good old Dracu Lastwell. In this build, there's some other things you can use here. Basically, you know, upgrade package is fantastic here. It's going to help you build other killers up while maintaining your limit burst damage, so that's a fantastic thing. But this is like the best of the best of the best build in this specific circumstances for the human killer. So we're using Gothic Amulet. We have the Mightiest Still, Ruler's Might for the TDH plus limit burst damage. Supreme Sentinel / Weapon Master here for the attack percent plus the human killer. Alliance Heart from Squall Super Trust Master Reward for the LB damage as well as the 3 LB per turn. We're still using Mad Dash, best vision card in the game, and obviously we're gearing him up for Maneater, so we have Diabolos here as well. So Cloud FF7 Remake, this is going to give you a bunch of attack. As you can see, once you have that self-attack buff up, 5,499 in combat attack is absolutely a fantastic thing to be doing there. Now, once you're ready and you have your normal form, remember you have to still equip your Brave Shift form. In the Brave Shift form, for a lot of you guys out there, the starter build, he is not true double hand. He's going to be true dual wield. So we're going to be looking at a non-Super Trust Master Reward True Dual Wield Cloud EX +1 version here in the bike form in his Brave Shift form. So we have the Muramasa from a trial reward here. Katana gives you some human killer. Fantastic thing there. We have Dark Lord from the newer Veritas trial as well. Gives you some Dragon Killer. Well, we're not really building for Dragon Killer, but it does have a lot of attack there, and it is going to be a great sword, so that's going to be fantastic for him. Erdwin's Cornet makes a return here for that attack plus limit burst damage. Same thing with King Rang's Armor. Storm Kickers from Esther's here. 45 flat attack, building up for limit burst damage there. Hermes Sandals for the 40 attack, as well as the True Dual Wield. He starts with 150% base True Dual Wield, so we only need 50% more. That fulfills that criteria there. Courage to move on from Advent Children Cloud, a combination of, once again, attack plus limit burst damage, or Goddess's Insignia plus, attack plus limit burst damage, Heart Overcoming Hatred, limit burst damage, and Asura Synergy here for some bonus stats. We also are using Diabolos here, and as a precaution here, the attack on this is actually going to be lower because the builder that we're using right now, as you can see, the vision card is not there. There is no spot in the builder for that vision card. We are still using the Cloud FF7 Remake vision card, so the attack's going to be a little bit higher there because it's not hitting the using a great sword percent attack base, which we're already at percent attack capped here anyway, but we don't have the flat attack, which does get multiplied by that True Dual Wield, so we're missing up to 300% attack here on this build with the FF7 Remake Cloud. Now, this is non-super TMR, so let's take a look at a Super Trust Master Reward build here for you guys, and that's going to be the FF7 Remake EX +1 once again. All Super Trust Master Rewards, we're building for limit burst damage still. We're building for attack percent, True Dual Wield, and Maneater once again. And same rules apply to all the other builds. That's what we're aiming for. Change that killer up depending on what you're fighting against. Try to maximize your True Dual Wield, your attack percent, and then balance your LB damage with your killer, depending on if you're fighting an Aqua Monster or a Dragoon Monster, a Dragon Monster, anything of that nature. Now, this time we're using Supreme Sword of Light from 11. Very fantastic piece of gear here for him. It's a sword, 180 attack, has an extra weapon variance on a one-handed weapon. The only one in the game that really has this big bonus damage weapon variance. You're getting up to 10%, but on average 5% bonus damage for having this equipped. It also gives you 50% LB damage here. Wellfang Heirloom, 50% True Dual Wield, and it allows the form here that you see can actually equip fist weapons, which the normal base form of FF7 Remake Cloud cannot do. So Wellfang Heirloom, fantastic there. Erdwin's Cornet still making a return. We have Lion Armor, which is a better version of King Rain's Armor. And we have the Wildfang Heirloom here because we're using Coin of Fate Sabin here. Very fantastic. A lot of attack, 60% attack each. Very high flat attack as well. Gives you some bulkiness on the HP. Still using Courage to move on, Lion's Heart, Heart Overcoming Hatred, Supreme Sentinel / Weapons Master. We're getting limit burst damage plus attack percent in our material selection here. And just like I said previously in the non-Super Trust Master reward build, the Vision card is missing because for the burst forms on the builder, it doesn't actually have a slot for us to equip them right yet. So he is also missing some bonus attack here, up to 300 bonus attack, so up to 4,500 attack. Now the following build, the last build for him before we get into some cool things you can do with him in combat and how they work, is actually going to be a crazy build that requires very specific things. You are doing a very specific, you're using him in a very specific way. And this is going to be a true double hand EX build for his burst shift form. So this is going to be all hands off the steering wheels. We're going in. This is going to be a TDH build, cross Aegeon arm. This is a two-handed weapon. He has 0% true double hand in this build, but if you have specific gear, you can get him up there and it's going to be very powerful. So cross Aegeon arm is very strong because it has a 1.5 average variance. It's a very high, so it's higher than the great swords in the game. It's pretty strong for that reason. So you're gonna get 50% bonus damage on average, but you have to have an insane amount of gear to make this work for you. So red Hellebore here, this is going to be different than the other build as well because we're not building for limit burst damage. We're going for just big chaining damage and chain finishing with the Buster, the Braver on his EX +3 Brave Shift form here. So max attack, max true double hand, and max killer is what we're aiming for here. Grand Reverie from Madame Adele. High 55 attack on the body piece, 30% extra attack when wearing a fist weapon. This helps us, get bonus damage from true double hand as well as a 30% attack. On top of that, then we have the upgrade packages. This gives us 50% true double hand each, as well as 40% attack and 40 flat attack for each of these equipped. Master of Fate, his own Super Trust Master Award, 200% true double on here. Weapon Specialist here for the attack percent plus the Man Eater, and then you just need some sort of other material here that gives you 100% true double hand. And then you can see GF extensions here. It's because in this particular build, because we're building for human killer, this is going to be another killer generally for when you're building against other enemy types. But right now we're capped on attack percent, we're capped on true double hand, we're capped on killer, we're capped on everything. So the builder threw in a little bit of the GF extension there. We're using Asura as well. And as the other builds state here, we're missing the Vision card, which actually is a big thing here. And then when this build was made, the EX +1, 2, and 3, they give you bonus stats here. But in the builder for Cloud specifically, in his burst form, it's not actually changing his base stats. So with this, it says 4,597 attack. You would actually have just over 5,800 attack through the extra bonus stats from the EX +3, which is a huge endeavor to go through. But on top of that, you're missing a lot of base attack from that Vision card because it gives you 100 flat once it's at level 10, and he's also got 400% true double hand. So that's Vision card's actually going to give you 500 bonus attack on its own in total, and you're going to be gaining a bunch of extra base stats from the EX +3 form. Right now, it's giving us the base stats of EX0 for all of the Brave Shifted Cloud builds that you've seen, so keep that in mind as well. But this build is insane. It's got a ton of attack. It does a huge amount of chaining damage and chain potential, as well as the self-cap Braver finish here. And so you guys can see this in action. We're going to go and test it out. This is my favorite way to use him right now in either of his forms, unless you're using him for the big limit burst damage. This build does very well. So let's go head over into, let's find it, the Cloud FF7 remake. This makes it very easy for us to find a Cloud friend. We're going to go in here. We're going to pick the friend Cloud. Doesn't really matter. We have our own Cloud. We're going to set it up in here. And this is what I like to do with him. I like to go Stardust Ray, Braver. This is going to allow you to easily chain cap this Braver. It can be a little bit hard to do at first. You have to get nearly a Spark Chain or a Spark Chain every time, but you just, 2 focus thrusts in a Braver, or if you're in your Brave Shift form, it also works in the Brave Shift form. You'll still triple cast here, and you will go for spinning slash Braver here. So keep that in mind. that is the thing that we're doing here, and this is going to allow you to get the full chain damage with both your focus thrusts and the full chain cap on your Braver here. That's going to be a fantastic thing for you guys to go for, and it's going to look a little bit like this. If I selected the right abilities here, he should start chaining, and boom, at the end, come in, slap him down to the skies, and that is my favorite way to use him right now. Just 2 SR chains into the Braver. Keep that in mind. You can also, use multiple Bravers there if you have someone else chain finishing for you, but you want to get the full bonus of the Braver damage as you go in and chain finish with your clouds there. That is basically the way to use him. Party compositions, obviously, if you're using him for limit burst damage, and trust is fantastic. Any sort of unit that can give you LB gauge so you can spam your limit bursts is fantastic. You have the ability to increase your limit burst gauge as well. Depends on how you want to use him, but if you're using that big cross IGAN arm build, or if you're not building him for limit burst damage, then you don't really plan on using limit burst, so you just go in there and you just spam your SR chains, you spam your Bravers. If you want to do the limit burst damage thing, you want to get your LB up as hugely and as fast as possible. Obviously, the benefit as well, some quick caveats, his base form does not have any sort of self imbue and imperil, so if you don't have someone to imbue him for you, you don't have someone to imperil for you, you're not copying status effects and abilities and buffs and stuff with like a unit like Mastermind Zahn, or you don't have anyone to do that sort of thing for you, you're going to want to brave shift over here into the Cloud FF7 remake version, because this ability on him allows you to go in and imbue yourself and imperil for yourself. It's going to be his Plasma Slicer, damage an enemy, adds lightning to your attack, and then his Spitting Slash skill, his Brave skill that you've been leveling up. Not only is it his best attacking skill, but it also has 120% lightning imperil, so it's his best chaining skill that you're using to chain, and then it's going to imperil for you as well. So very fantastic a way to use this character. And then Braver is his highest raw mod, 100 times mod. Get that chain finish in there, get the full 4 times mod at it, make it a 400 times mod basically after you factor in all of that chain finishing damage and that chain finishing potential. So that's going to be it for the FF7 Remake Cloud. We are going to have the Tifa build out today. I'm out of town today, but hopefully I get both of these done for you guys. Let me know what you liked about it, what you didn't like about it, all of that fantastic stuff. And remember, guys, those builds are just example builds. Everyone's going to have different gear, but that's just something for you to aim towards. The same sort of situation that we do in every character guide here is give you an example of what it is that we're focusing on, right? In this case, quick synopsis: attack percent, limit burst damage percent if you're trying to use your limit burst damage, and then either true double hand or true dual wield, depending on what build you're going for, as well as the balance of the killer. So keep that in mind there, guys. Hopefully this helped you guys out. Thank you guys for spending time here today, and then until the next time, guys, I'll see you in the next video. Stay safe, guys.